Hello, 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 YouTube world. It's Miss Patty with 4YourCNA, and we are here for our live CNA practice test game show. I'm super excited to be with you today. We do this on the first and third Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m., and I give you 15 test-like practice questions, and you guys get to compete for real prizes just by answering questions. So let's jump right in today, and we're going to talk about today's topic. So over here, yeah, I'll bring the puppy in just a second, or when we're at the end, Blue. So stay tuned. I'll bring both of them in. Oh, thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Diamaka. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. Hi, good morning, Flurman. Let's see here. Hi, Fatau. Hi, Ladybug. Good morning, Helen and Denise and Nodeline, Tabitha, and Dina. So you guys come in, let me know that you're here. Just put something in the chat so I know. Good morning, Barbie. Christine, hi. All right, so today's topic, let's get into that. So welcome, everybody. Today's topic right here, somewhere over here, is going to be under the heading of promotion of function and health of residents. But when you look at the test plan, there's subcategories of questions, and we're going to focus on the last two subcategories here. And that's going to be age-related changes and psychosocial needs of the residents. So that's what today's lessons are, questions are going to focus on. Questions that would come from these specific categories. These are very similar to the types of questions you're going to see on the state exam. They are not the exam questions, and nobody can give you the actual exam questions because that affects testing integrity. So anybody that says to you that they have the actual questions, these questions are absolutely protected so that we can maintain test integrity. But what I'm going to give you are test-like questions. So what that means is it's going to cover the same content. It's going to be presented in the same way. And the answer choices are going to be worded in a specific way to help you identify the right and wrong answers. So our questions are written like the test exam questions. And they're going to be very similar to what you're going to see, but they're not the exact questions from the test. And remember, testing questions change all the time. Well, you guys are going to be competing for prizes, and the way this works is the question comes up on the screen. I'll read the question and the answer choices to you, and you'll put into the chat numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. And at the end, the program that I use adds up all of your points. And the top 3 places, the people with the most points get prizes. So let's take a look at the prizes. So first place is the t-shirt. Now we have a couple to choose from. And if you win first place, you've got to tell me which t-shirt you want as well as your size. So this is the first t-shirt. It's white with red, white, and blue. It says Become, Inspire, Care with the CNA outlined in red. And I have another one in black, which is the one I'm wearing. It's white and red with gold accents on black. T-shirt number 2 is Called to Care, which is a heart. And, tells everybody that you've got the heart for caregiving. T-shirt number 3 is CNA Care Crew. And I like, this one's kind of cute, CNA Care Crew. And then the 4th one is the one I'm wearing here, the Become, Inspire, Care, but on a black t-shirt. So those are the 4 options you have. Let me go through it one more time. You've got Become, Inspire, Care on white, red, white, and blue. You have Called to Care in a heart. You have CNA Care Crew. And then, oops, and then you have Become Inspire Care on black. So if you win first prize, you got to let me know which t-shirt you want and your size. Second place is going to get the card game. So the card game is super fun. It's based on CNA principles. You have to collect sets, kind of like Rummy, but the real challenge with this isn't collecting the sets. You're going to learn a little bit along the way, but that's not the real challenge in this. You have to get rid of your crappy caregivers that are in your hand, because we all know crappy caregivers can absolutely pull down the entire morale of a building. So you have to get rid of the crappy caregivers or they're going to count against you. And the specialty cards are there to derail you. So you can have a call-off crisis where you lose a turn. You could have a fire drill. You can have a HIPAA violation. So there's a lot of specialty cards in there that will force you to do something that could be good or it could be bad. And those specialty cards are really what makes or breaks your ability to win the game. So that's really a fun game, a fun way to practice some of the things that you need to know for the state exam. And then third place, so this is the card game that you would get second place. Third place is going to get, oops, I don't have it here. Third place is going to get our badge holder and some motivational bracelets, keychains, things like that, to thank you for being in healthcare. So first place t-shirt, second place card game, third place motivational gifts. I hope that intrigues you guys. And we send these out for free. We don't charge you anything. Just play the game, and first place, second, and third place will win the prizes. Now, the prizes we can only ship to the United States right now, but I am working on a solution for that. I'm working with a new program. I'm trying to get it set up now that will allow us to ship international. So right now, just the United States. I'm super sorry for our international people. We are working on that. All right, so here are the rules. Every question will be displayed for 60 seconds. I'm going to read the question to you along with the answer choices. In the chat, you're going to put in 1, 2, 3, or 4, whichever answer you want to choose. And then you're going to hit send, and that sends it to YouTube. The order that YouTube receives your answers is what's graded. Not when you send it, it's the order YouTube receives it. So remember, there may be a lag depending on your internet speed and where you're joining us from. But the program that I use sits on top of YouTube, and it reads the answers as they come in. Fastest answer, most points. And it only reads your first one. So if you decide to change your mind, it's not going to count. First answer, the fastest correct answer, most points. We'll add those up at the end, and we'll decide who gets first, second, and third. Okay, Ashley, so excited for the card game. All right, Ashley is going for second place. I've been watching your videos with my kids, and we love to play card games. I think it would be a fun addition to our family game night. Well, thank you, Ashley. I do appreciate that. And yes, you can play this with kids because it's a Rummy-style game. And who knows, you might even spark an interest in healthcare for the future generation. So that's a bonus. All right, so this is where the questions are going to be. I'm going to get the program started. So we are going to, about 20 seconds from now, get started. Remember, I'll read the question and the answer choices. You're going to put into the chat numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yes, you can use A, B, C, or D if you want, but 1, 2, 3, or 4 is best. Okay, you guys ready? Limber up those fingers. Here we go. Remember, 15 questions. First question. Which of the following is a common cognitive change with aging? 1, increased reaction time. 2, faster learning ability. 3, improved short-term memory. Or 4, sharper problem-solving skills. So which of the following is a common cognitive change with aging? 1, increased reaction time. 2, faster learning ability. 3, improved short-term memory. Or 4, sharper problem-solving skills? Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 10 seconds left. I started you off with a hard one this week. I know, this one's kind of hard. The wording is tricky here. The right answer is 1, increased reaction time. And this is why a lot of our older individuals are at risk for injury, because they're not going to react as quickly as you do. You know, when you touch a hot stove, your instinct, your reflex is to pull your hand away, because your nervous system is working really well. When you touch a hot stove, your fingers feel that, sends it to the brain. Brain says, move the hand, and the muscles cooperate. As we get older, that whole system slows down. So somebody can touch a hot stove, and it takes a while for their brain to even realize that their fingers are being burned, and then it takes a while for those muscles to engage. Barbie came in first on that one, followed by Blue, Ladybug, Christine, Denise, and Flurman. I know that one was kind of hard. Yeah. Moving on to number 2. It's a little easier this time. Which is a normal psychosocial change in aging? 1, always becoming depressed. 2, a need for complete independence. 3, loss of all memory. Or 4, increased social isolation. So which is a normal psychosocial change in aging? Always being depressed, a need for complete independence, loss of all memory, or increased social isolation. So what commonly happens as we age? What commonly happens? Oh boy, this was a hard one for you. I'm so sorry. This is a very common question on the state exam. The right answer here is increased social isolation, and let me explain why. Let's go through these real quick though. Always becoming depressed. There isn't a population that always does anything. So always is never, ever, ever the right answer. A need for complete independence. They want to be independent, but they probably won't be. Loss of all memory. No population loses all memory. Increased social isolation, though, is a common psychosocial change because their spouses die, their friends start to die, their kids are busy with their own lives and work and families. So a lot of our older individuals are alone. They are isolated, and that's why they rely on us for that interaction. So it looks like Denise, Andina, and Flurman. All right. Oh, these are hard, huh? Question 3. Which is an expected physical change in older adults? 1, increased bone strength. 2, faster metabolism. 3, decreased skin elasticity. Or 4, increased muscle mass. So which is an expected physical change in older adults? 1, increased bone strength. 2, faster metabolism. 3, decreased skin elasticity. Or 4, increased muscle mass. Go ahead and lock in your final answers. You have about 10 seconds left. Oh, Blue, that's awesome. Yeah, the right answer here is decreased skin elasticity, and this is absolutely correct. This is why a lot of our older patients get skin tears, because the skin it literally tears because those collagen fibers that provide that elasticity start to break down and shorten and become harder. Increased bone strength, it's actually the opposite. Decreased bone strength is something that we see in the aging population. Faster metabolism is the opposite of what we see. Things start to slow down in the aging process, especially the digestive system. And increased muscle mass, just the opposite. We start to see a breakdown of muscle mass or atrophy. Ashley came in first on that one, followed by Andina, Kenzie, and Titania. Oh, I like that name, Titania. All right, question number, I think we're on 4. What is the best way to support an older resident with mild memory loss? Pay attention to that mild. 1, correct them every time they forget. 2, ignore their concerns. 3, provide reminders and routines. Or 4, let them figure things out alone. So what is the best way to support an older resident with mild memory loss? 1, correct them every time they forget. 2, ignore their concerns. 3, provide reminders and routines. Or 4, let them figure out things alone. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 10 seconds left. You guys did good on this one. Yep. All right, right answer here is number 3, provide reminders and routines. Now I'm going to pause this for just a second because I want to talk about this question. And the reason I want to talk about this question is because this trips people up all the time on the test. There's one word in this question that we have to pay attention to, and that word is best. What is the best way to support an older resident with mild memory loss? So number 1, correct them every time they forget, might seem like the right answer, but people don't always take well to being corrected, especially by somebody younger than them. So this can actually cause hostility. It can cause animosity between the healthcare worker and the patient. This may not be the best strategy. But number 3, provide reminders and routines. That is the best way to support an older resident with mild memory loss. Now, that mild is an important word in this question too, but anytime you have a question where the word best is in it, there may be 2 answers that seem right. We have to pick the best one out of what's presented to us. So this is a very common situation on the written test. So the first one that you see might seem right, but remember that best is going to be important. Denise came in first on that one, followed by Ashley, Andina, and Joy. Blue says family photos, family visits, talk about things they like and remember, ask family what they like to talk about. Yeah, absolutely. Question number 5. Which strategy helps maintain independence? 1, completing all tasks for them. 2, restricting their activities. 3, limiting their choices. Or 4, encouraging self-care when possible. So which strategy helps the residents maintain independence? 1, completing all tasks for them. 2, restricting their activities. 3, limiting their choices. Or 4, encouraging self-care when possible. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 5 seconds left. The right answer here is number 4, encouraging self-care when possible. Yeah, we're going to help our patients with everything that they need help with. But if they can do something on their own, we're going to encourage them to keep doing that thing on their own. And that's what's going to help with independence. Completing all tasks for them, that actually makes them dependent, not independent. We don't want to restrict activities, and limiting choices, that actually does the opposite of what we're wanting to do. Remember, we're trying to maintain independence. Limiting their choices does the opposite of that. But this is a strategy we use with dementia patients, limiting choices. So good job. Joy, Flurman and Andina came in top 3 on that one. Okay. And then question number 6. Which of the following is a basic human need according to Maslow? So this is going to be Maslow's hierarchy. And if you don't know this, you need to go brush up on it before the test. 1, personal growth. 2, entertainment. 3, financial success. Or 4, physical safety. So which of the following is a basic human need according to Maslow? 1, personal growth. 2, entertainment. 3, financial success. Or 4, physical safety. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 15 seconds left. Yeah, Maslow's very important in healthcare. If you don't know about it, you need to. All right, the right answer here is number 4, physical safety. And none of those other things matter if they're physically not cared for. If they don't have oxygen, if they don't have food, if they don't have water, if they don't have shelter, if their physical being is in jeopardy, the rest of that doesn't matter. Personal growth, entertainment, financial success does not matter if somebody can't breathe, or if somebody isn't dressed appropriately, or if somebody doesn't have enough food, or the ability to process that food. So Maslow's hierarchy really puts all of the patient's needs in a very easy to understand manner. So Flurman came in first on that one, followed by Kinsey, Joy, and Gorleen. Yeah, I know. Maslow's is kind of tough, and it can get a really big topic, so we're just simplifying it a little bit. I'm going to do a lesson on Maslow. Question 7. What is the best way to help a resident cope with loss? 1, ignore their emotions. 2, tell them to move on quickly. 3, encourage them to express their feeling. 4, avoid discussing the loss. So what is the best way to help a resident cope with loss? 1, ignore their emotions. 2, tell them to move on quickly. 3, encourage them to express their feelings. Or 4, avoid discussing the loss. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 15 seconds left. This one is uncomfortable. It is. I agree, Blue. Yeah, it can be a rabbit hole. Yeah, this one can be uncomfortable for sure. But the right answer here is to encourage them to express their feelings. Now, we're not always comfortable with that. If we have a female resident who is crying all the time over the loss of her husband who died 10 years ago, that can be very, very taxing on caregivers. And we want them to talk it out. We need them to talk it out. The only way to come to terms with grief is to express it and to work through it. We can't ignore it and expect it to go away. It doesn't. It actually comes out in lots of different ways. So we don't want to avoid discussing it. We don't want to ignore their emotions, and we don't want to tell them to just get over it. What we want to do is encourage them to talk about it, which can be uncomfortable for us. So Joy came in first on that one, followed by Ashley, Kinsley, and Flurman. Okay, moving on. Halfway done, guys. We're half done. Question number 8. A resident resists help with dressing. What should the CNA do? 1, offer assistance as needed. 2, rush them through the steps. 3, dress them yourself. Or 4, insist they dress your way. A resident resists help with dressing. What should the CNA do? 1, offer assistance as needed. 2, rush them through the steps. 3, dress them yourself. Or 4, insist they dress your way. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 10 seconds left. This one was pretty easy. Yeah, I know. The right answer here is, of course, number 1, offer assistance as needed. Remember that independence is important. We become independent at certain things like dressing somewhere around 4 years old, 3 to 4. And a lot of times, when you're looking at little children, 3 or 4-year-olds, they put stuff on that does not match, or they put 2 different shoes on, or they do all kinds of crazy things. But we allow that because we want to encourage that independence. And we don't like to lose that independence once we gain it. So when we have an older individual that needs help but is resistant, we don't want to go in there and force them. We're going to offer assistance as they need us, but we're not going to run in and do it for them. We're really going to help encourage that independent process. Joy came in first on that one, followed by Flurman, Kenzie, and Nathabo. I hope I said that right. All right. Question number 9. To assist a visually impaired resident with meals, describe the food placement using a color system, a clock system, an alphabetical system, or a texture system. So to assist a visually impaired resident with meals, we're going to describe the food placement on their plate using which system? 1, a color system. 2, a clock system. 3, an alphabetical system. Or 4, a texture system. So how are we going to help somebody who is visually impaired know what's on their plate? Which system do we use? Go ahead and lock in your final answer. 5 seconds left. The right answer is a clock system. So we describe the food on their plate based on where it would be on a clock. So here is 12 o'clock. You've got mashed potatoes at 12 o'clock. You've got Salisbury steak at 6 o'clock. You've got green beans at 3 o'clock. So the plate, we imagine there's a clock sitting right on top of that plate. Where is the food in relation to the numbers on that imaginary clock? And that will help patients remain independent even if they're visually impaired. So remember, independence is so important, guys. These tools need to be used. Sure, it's quicker to feed them yourself, but that doesn't do anything for their psychosocial abilities. So Nathabo, Flurman, and Blue came in first, second, and third. Question 10. What should CNAs avoid when helping residents adjust to changes? 1, encouraging self-care. 2, making all decisions for them. 3, providing emotional support. Or 4, offering choices. So what should CNAs avoid when helping residents adjust to changes? So are we going to avoid encouraging self-care? Are we going to avoid making all decisions for them? Are we going to avoid providing emotional support? Or are we going to avoid offering choices? Go ahead and lock in your final answer. Yeah, the wording on this is tricky, guys. The wording on this is tricky. Pay close attention. Right answer here is number 2. We do want to encourage self-care. That's something that you should be doing with all of your residents. You do want to provide emotional support. That's something you need to do with all of your residents. And you do want to offer choices, especially when somebody is experiencing change, because they are going to need some level of control about something in their life. Patients that feel like they have no control over anything become combative. They become resistant. So offering choices does become important. What we don't want to do is just go in there and make all decisions for them, because if you do that, if you just go in and take over, they start to feel like, well, what's the point of me being here? Joy came in first on that one, followed by Ashley, Kinsley, and Nathabo. So we don't want to just go in and run right over them and make all of their decisions for them. That's not good for anybody. So are you starting to see how these questions might be presented on the test? Question 11. Which response shows emotional support to a grieving resident? 1, I understand. I'm here if you want to talk. 2, you need to cheer up. 3, this happens to everyone. It's normal. Or 4, aren't you over this yet? So which response shows emotional support to a grieving resident? 1, I understand. I'm here if you want to talk. 2, you need to cheer up. 3, this happens to everyone. It's normal. Or 4, aren't you over this yet? So which response would show emotional support? Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 5 seconds left. And the right answer here is 1. I understand, and I'm here if you want to talk. That opens the door and lets the patient know that they are being supported, but they're also able to vent or to just talk out what they're feeling. Now, it's important for you to understand that every patient in a long-term care facility is grieving. Everyone. Not necessarily grieving the loss of a person, although that may be too, but they've lost their independence, their home, their car, their pets, their belongings, their health. They've lost pretty much everything. And if you don't think they're going to grieve that, you're wrong. The biggest thing about long-term care patients is they are grieving, and we have to understand that and relate to that. Joy came in first, followed by Ashley, Nathabo, and Kenzie. Yeah, working in long-term care, it requires a lot of patience. Question 12. How can a CNA assist a patient who has difficulty accepting that they need help? 1, force them to accept the help. 2, avoid assisting them. 3, make fun of their struggles. Or 4, encourage independence when possible. So how can a CNA assist a patient who has difficulty accepting when they need help? Do we force them to accept the help? Do we avoid them? Do we make fun of them? Or do we encourage independence when possible? Yes, blue. I use that a lot. I'm here to help you help yourself. So whatever you need, whatever support you need, I'm here for. So I'm here to help you help yourself. So yeah, encouraging independence when possible. This is a big part of what we do. If you just run into a room and you do everything for that patient, they're going to resent you and themselves because it makes them feel like they're a lot sicker and weaker than they actually are. And that can cause patients to give up and do something called failure to thrive. You don't want to just go in and take over. Sure, it's a lot faster. I can get things done to a patient way faster than I can support them doing them themselves. But that's not your role. Your role isn't to take over. You want them to be as independent as possible. Ashley came in first on that one, followed by Nathabo and Joy. Yeah, you take away what autonomy they have left that way. You're right. You're right. Oh, yeah, Blue. I love having pets in to visit. 13. How can CNAs help residents adjust to nursing home life? 1, allow them to personalize their space. 2, keep them in their rooms except for meals. 3, remain silent during care. Or 4, make all decisions for them. So how can CNAs help residents adjust to nursing home life? 1, allow them to personalize their space. 2, keep them in their rooms except for meals. 3, remain silent during care. or 4, make all decisions for them. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. And guys, those of you that are playing along, please remember that you must be subscribed to participate in this. You might be typing stuff in, but my program may not read it. Our right answer here is number 4, make all decisions for them. Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry, that should be 1. That's wrong. Yeah, 1 is right. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I messed that up. 1 is right. Allow them to personalize their space. So you guys all got that one right, but you're not going to get points for it because I coded that wrong. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so sorry. So yeah, we're going to allow them to personalize their space. Pictures, artwork, trinkets, that type of thing. You want them to feel as at home as possible, even though it's institutional living. So we're just going to ignore the scores. Just ignore the scores, guys. I know I messed that one up. Sorry, I was doing this late last night and I was tired. Yes, Blue, absolutely. If you see religious stuff you're not familiar with, ask them. Sure. Question number, yes, I know, Sheena, I'm sorry. Question number 14. A resident is feeling lonely and isolated. What need is unmet? 1, self-actualization. 2, physical needs. 3, love and belonging. Or 4, financial stability. So a resident is feeling lonely and isolated. What need is unmet? 1, self-actualization. 2, physical needs. 3, love and belonging. Or 4, financial stability. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. Lock in your final answer. We'll talk about these categories in just a second. The right answer here is number 3, love and belonging. Yeah. So this is so important for CNAs to understand. A lot of your patients are going to feel lonely and isolated, and that will absolutely affect their physical health as well. And that's a big role that we play. If we're the ones that are interacting with the patients the most and they don't have family and friends that are visiting and they just feel like nobody cares about them anymore, that becomes our role, is to help meet that love and belonging need. Just to feel cared about as well as cared for. Self-actualization means you've met your goals. You've set your goals. You've met your goals. You are good to go. Physical needs, we've talked about that. Flurman came in first on that one, followed by Ashley, Nathabo, and Ladybug. But yes, you've got to have your patients feel cared about. Cared about, not just cared for. Last question. Here we go. Which CNA action supports a resident's need for safety? 1, providing clear walking pathways. 2, explaining all steps. 3, providing privacy. Or 4, providing all care with a second CNA. So which CNA action supports a resident's need for safety? Pay attention to the wording. 1, providing clear walking pathways. 2, explaining all steps. 3, providing privacy. Or 4, providing all care with a second CNA. Go ahead and lock in your final answers. You've got about 5 seconds left. I know we're kind of all over the place on this one. Let me explain why. There's one word in this question that matters. Safety. All of these things are important. Providing clear walking pathways is all about safety. Explaining all steps, that maintains independence and the resident's right to be informed and participate in their care. Providing privacy is a huge resident right. We're going to do that, but that isn't about safety. Providing all care with a second CNA, that's not really feasible. You're not going to have a second CNA to go in and do everything with you. So that really doesn't count. That providing all care, that's not even a good answer. But explaining all steps, not safety. Providing privacy, not safety. Providing a clear walkway, safety. Flurman came in first on that one, followed by Ashley, Kenzie, and Joy. You guys did great today. I'm super proud. These were some hard questions. This is the category that's probably the hardest. Ashley came in first, followed by Flurman, Joy, Kenzie, Andina, Nathabo, Ladybug, Sheena, Blue, and Barbie. You guys did great. And I know these questions are a little bit hard, but these are the types of questions that most people don't do well on the state exam. And that's why I wanted to really highlight some of these. You may see some of these on the state exam, and I need you to be prepared for the types of questions that they're asking, but also to know which words in the questions you need to focus on, because these are the types of questions that you may struggle with a little bit on the test. So I hope this helped you kind of see the types of questions you might see. So to claim your prizes, so first, second, and third place winners, I want you to send me an email to 4YourCNA@gmail.com. So you can just copy this and then paste it into an email. For first place, I need you to send me which t-shirt you wanted and the color and size. Second place, you're getting the card game. Third place, you'll get the badge holder and some inspirational gifts. So one more time, let's see here. We've got first place was Ashley. Second place is Flurman, and third place is Joy. I'm so glad you guys all joined me today. This is the favorite part of my week. I really love hanging out with you. Now, for those of you who want to see the pups, I'm going to go ahead and let them in, and I'll bring them up here so you can see them. But for those of you who don't want to stay tuned for that, we'll see you tomorrow for class 4 in our live classroom live stream. And we'll do this again for the game show the first Tuesday in March. So those of you that need to go, bye-bye, happy caregiving. Those of you who want to see my puppies, stay tuned. Let me go get them. Hold on. Annie, Jet, come here. Come on. Annie, come on. Come here. Jet, come on. Come on, Jet. Come on, Jet. Jet. Come here, Annie. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right, so this is Annie. Annie was my very first puppy. She is a Labradoodle, and she's a micro mini. She's not even 10 pounds, and she is such a big cuddle bug. She needs a grooming appointment. She's all fluffy, but she is the biggest cuddle bug I've ever had. She is Velcro dog. Now, she got together with my Beagle Rescue, and they produced Jet. So let me show you Jet. Come here, Jet. Come here. Come here, Jet. Come here. Come on. Good boy. Come here, Jet. Come here. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you're getting so heavy. Okay. So this is the puppy. He is now 20 pounds, and he looks like a Muppet. He's so cute. Do you see him? Isn't he adorable? He needs a groom too. But yeah, he was jet black when he was born. He looked like a little baby Rottweiler. He was tiny, about this big, super small. And then, so we named him Jet because he was jet black. Now he's like gray. And I love him to pieces. So, so those are the two puppies. So we started out with Annie Banani. She's just a little tiny thing. And then she had Jet, who was a little tiny thing, and now he's becoming a monster. So yeah, Blue, our 13-pound terrier mix is both ferocious and snuggly. Yeah, Jet, that's Jet. Absolutely. Valencia, I take the test 2 times and I did not pass. I'm so sorry to hear that, Valencia. Let me put something in the chat for you that may help you. So if you go here, 4YourCNA.com/ebook. That's an ebook that I wrote specific for the written test, and it's going to help you decode the questions, figure out what they're really asking you, and how to choose the right answer. So that ebook may help you on the state exam, okay? And of course, go back and watch the replays of these game shows. That may help too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sign off for today. I'm out of breath. He's heavy. All right, we're going to go ahead and sign off for today. Those of you who won, make sure you give me an email with all of your information, your address, your real name, your screen name, so that we can send your prizes out to you. Ash says, same. I took the test and I didn't pass. I'm in California. I'm so sorry about that, Ash, but we're here to help. Go to the same website, 4YourCNA.com/ebook. That ebook is so helpful, so helpful. And of course, go back and watch the replays of these game shows. We've been doing them now for almost 2 years. So there's lots of replays for you to be able to go back and watch and kind of get an idea of the types of questions that you might have on the state exam. But if you really want to figure out why you're not passing, you need to go back and watch my classroom program. So we live stream our classes for free. Anybody can watch from anywhere in the world. You can watch my classroom where I'm teaching. And if you go back and watch the replays of those, it may fill in some of the gaps that you have so that your next attempt is successful. So let me put in here, this is the website you go to watch my live stream. You can also see it on YouTube, but if you go here to flcnatraining.com, I have worksheets, I have the replays of the class sessions that we've already had. We've got next steps, videos that you need to watch to help gain an understanding of the topic. All of that is there for you. So, and it's all free. So go to flcnatraining.com and dive into that content, and it will absolutely fill in those gaps that you have to make sure your next attempt is successful. Okay. Ashley says, next game I'm going to strive for second place. Yeah. Miss Amani says, got in late, but glad you emailed me the ebook. Oh, good. I'm so glad. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today because I've got so much work to do. But real quick before I go, super important, I got the first new video done. I don't have it live yet. It'll be live later this week, and it's Pulse. So that was the first one that I started with, but it's a whole new format. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so that when that new video goes live, you can watch it. And I'd love for you to tell me what you think about it because I did some really unique things with this one. And I'm really hoping that it's helping, it will be there to help the students that need that little bit of extra help. So stay tuned later this week. That first new video will be live, and I'd love for you to tell me what you think about it. All right, so Helen, I still have hope to win. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to sign off, and I will see you tomorrow for our live classroom live stream or the first Tuesday of March for our next game show. Until then, happy caregiving. Bye.